achieve immortality, the Dalai Lama once said, and rightly so, as only by sharing thoughts and ideas we can discover new things together. Hello, we are Amit and Daniëlle, founders of heygroentje.nl. Through heygroentje, our mission is to introduce people to the amazing vegan Indian cuisine and to discuss topics we find interesting with a wider audience. In today's podcast episode of heygroentje, we want to talk about our idea of financial freedom. We aim to answer a few questions about financial freedom, starting with what is financial freedom exactly, how to achieve it, what is the FIRE movement, and our idea of financial freedom, which I think is the most important of all the questions. And with that, I would like to invite my wife to this conversation. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think? How are you feeling?
With this topic, a bit nervous. But it is because I'm not really into all those money things.
Mm-hmm.
I know you read quite some books about it, and you're more into that, looking what it is. And
right.
I'm not really. You're always more busy with like the bigger money, to say like that, for the future. Yeah, money for the future. You're a bit more busy with, and I'm more busy with like the small money, like how to save money when we do groceries.
That's equally important, I think. And also, like we will see in this episode, like our idea of financial freedom and of money as well is so much different than the average person who we know, or how we see the world around us. Like how they behave with money and like with their finances. Our thinking is completely different, and I know for sure, I think you have it even less than me, that you, in a way that you don't think about money as being as important in your life.
Yeah, for
right?
me, money is not that important. I know it's important to have because, if you want to live somewhere, if you want to live your life, you always need money.
Yeah.
But
especially in today's society, like and in the capitalist world that we live in, it's important for everyone to have like a safety net, as they call it.
Yeah.
In order to, focus on. Just let me put it that way. To focus on the basic things has become quite difficult, because there's so much complexity in our world now with the finance like available around us, things with money that we can buy, things money can buy. It's getting even more difficult. But I'm really interested directly towards the last question, but that's a reason that I want to save that for the last, is because first I want to discuss this with you, our idea, how we individually and together think about financial freedom, what financial freedom, how it is talked about in media, how people talk about like achieving financial freedom, and the FIRE movement in particular, and then I want to come to our idea.
So there's a lot to talk about,
freedom,
but maybe because I also don't know exactly, I know what it is, but I don't know exactly, how to describe it. So maybe you can explain first, what is financial freedom?
Yeah, I looked up for quite some definitions, like on the internet, like along the couple of years that I have. I think I heard about this concept like around 2 years back when I started working and I started earning my first salary, and to try to get to know how to make the best use of money like that is flowing in by a day job. But financial freedom like usually means having enough savings, financial investments. That's a major part of becoming financially free, and cash also on hand to afford the kind of lifestyle that we desire for ourselves and our families. It means growing savings that enable people to retire, to pursue the career that they really want, without being driven by earning a set salary each year, by doing maybe or a job that they are not really passionate about.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah, I think I agree completely to what you're saying, because if I think for myself, like what is financial freedom for me, is that I want to do the things that I like without worrying too much about money.
Right.
And that's kind of exactly what it stands for, right?
Yeah. But there are positives and negatives both when you like look at this definition. We will talk about them both actually, because how I really defined it, like how I see it is different than how you see it, and how like it is really defined in a way. Like how to achieve financial freedom, like that's next part. Like if you have defined it, like then a lot of people will ask, you say to have enough savings of investments and cash. A lot of people, they don't believe in investing because they see it as like making it as like a casino, for example, like where you can earn money, but you can also lose a lot of money. And a lot of people think, why should I have a lot of cash on my hand? Because I want to also spend the money that I'm earning. And then you have like clashes between like the lifestyle choices among different kinds of people. Also in the same family, there's often a lot of conflict regarding that. So there's a lot of, as to say, there's a lot of ways to reach Rome. So how to achieve financial freedom, like how we will talk about, is like how we think about it, and it might be different for different people. But what do you think, like from what you know about it? Because we have had these discussions before, and you feel that you lack knowledge about it to really say the right thing.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not that busy with how to achieve that, and I think you're more into that to look up, like with the whole investing part. I would never thought about it myself, but I think that's also because in my family, it's just you're just working. Every month you're getting your salary, and that you're saving on your bank account. And on your bank account you can see exactly how much money you're having.
Right.
And I didn't know anyone around me who was busy with, for example, investing their money to think about the future. They were all busy with just saving their money, and also they were saving the money to see what they could buy with that.
For a material cause.
Yeah.
To get repairs done at the home, or for a big holiday that they have been planning for a long time, or just a special event, or a special thing that they want to gift, or they want to buy for the house or for themselves.
And I can say that for myself. Since I'm a kid, I'm really good in saving my money. And I'm really thankful for that I'm that way, because I was so good in saving my money. I could do really nice things, like going on really nice trips, and I was also never spending it that much on things that I didn't find that important, like clothes and makeup. I was really saving my money for, like, I remember even I got my first job, and they asked me, why do you want this job? And I said, I need money because I want to go to Africa. That was really my answer. And mostly you would say at a job interview, I would like to work here, but for me really the thing was, I want to earn money because I need that money to do something I want. So that's maybe also because I grew up that way, that you're saving money for something you want in a few months or in a year. I never was really thinking farther than that.
Mm-hmm.
Even I was good with saving, I was not thinking that far.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I met you, you were, I think in the time we were meeting each other, when you start also working later, you got to know more about it. Okay, I have this money now, but what to do with it and what can I do for the future?
Right. Yeah. Like what I hear, like your initial experiences with money and like it was not really you were not really busy with achieving financial freedom.
No.
But you wanted enough money saved by working at a job which you knew you don't want to work for a lifetime, but just make enough money from it to support your trip to Africa.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah. So in that time frame, I would say it is kind of becoming financially independent for that period of time that you could really support your trip to Africa for the amount of days or months that you spend there. But financial freedom is about having enough savings and investments so that you never ever have to work for money again, and you can support your lifestyle endlessly. And there are many different ways to achieve it, and it's quite funny because if you look in the back before, there's just one more thing people have to worry about. A lot of people will think, you are telling about one more concept that we have to worry about in life. But I myself find it really interesting, like how all of it works, and I have kind of mixed feelings about it as well, because in the times of hunter and gatherers, like this concept didn't exist, and there were more important things to worry about, like survival, like if you will have enough food to last the winter or for the next day even. It's achieving financial freedom. It's a modern day problem. It's because of the lifestyles that we have created, like the houses that we have where we stay. And before COVID, people didn't even spend that much time in their houses. They were mostly working outside or on vacation, or and then they would have these big houses with big mortgages to pay. So it's all about the kind of systems that we have created that has led us to worry about achieving financial freedom.
But is it for everyone? Because like in that time, like hunters and gatherers, people, those people had other things to worry about. Yeah. But there are still people in the world, they have troubles of getting their food. How can they think about financially freedom? Yeah,
I think that's a really good point that you put forward. It's quite sad actually on one hand, because I think this is a really important part of it, that this concept really exists for the rich, or the people who are, I would say, the top 5% in the whole world, and I would say like we also fall in that category. But because like coming from India, I have seen how life can be when you have to really think about still what if you'll have food on the table the next day or the same evening. You see people around you like who live in abject poverty, then you think, of course, like this concept doesn't really make sense for them at all. No. So it's really for the elite, for people who have it good, because you cannot think about financial planning if you don't have your basic needs met.
No, that's first important to have, and then you can start thinking about this.
Right.
And we are in a position that that we can think about it. So we should be really lucky that
we should be really thankful about it, and the people who can talk about it as well. It's both, like there are negative aspects to it as well and positives both. But for whatever we have, we should be thankful of, and we should be grateful, and we should help people in need as far as we can. Although there are a lot of problems that remain in the system because of which there's inequality. And of course, a lot of people who achieve financial freedom, I would even say that it's at the cost of some people, being exploited.
Yeah.
That's indirectly that's happening quite a lot.
But to go back to the question, how do you think you can achieve financial freedom?
Yeah, I think it's I think just you have to go to the basics, because I think there's no end to achieving financial freedom if you don't have your greed in control. So if you really think about like what you need, I think if you think really about on the basic level, there are really few basic things that like human needs are.
Yeah, like a roof above your head,
right.
Food, water.
Yeah. And above that, everything like eating out once in a week, or going on expensive vacations, having an expensive car, having a big house with like a garden and 5 bedrooms, and and you're living with just the two of you, or maybe
even alone.
Yeah, even alone happening in a big house.
Yeah.
Then you kind of are working for the house in a way, in a house that you don't even spend time with, because you are so much busy at work that you don't have time for it. But financial freedom, I think, will come by itself when you are busy with things that you like and you are not really materialistic. So for me personally, for us, I think it comes a bit easier because we are open to let go of a lot of material stuff in order to pursue what we really like to do, that is cooking in our case. And we make just enough, I think, to or we are in the process of making just enough to like pay our bills.
Yeah, and it is because we are not that busy with, we need an expensive house, we need a car, we need to go out for dinner and lunches every week.
Yeah. We decided to trade that. Yeah. We decided to trade that for the things that we really like to do.
And we are fine with that.
Yeah.
But do you think you can, because this is the way we are living, so people who have a different kind of lifestyle, they of course need more, like if people, they have a different kind of lifestyle where they want all those expensive things, then do you think for them it's possible? Or do they first have to change to a more simpler life?
Not always. Not always. If people, of course, if they are making enough money to afford a certain lifestyle and they really want that, they can go for it. And that brings me also to the next point, because that also kind of answers the question like how to achieve it, that is talked about in the media quite a lot nowadays, is the FIRE movement.
What is it? First, that what is it exactly?
It stands for financial independence, retire early. So FIRE, FIRE. Of course, one size doesn't fit all. For everyone, it's different. It's about saving and investing part of your income every month, so that in less time than the retirement age, like compared to the average retirement age, you can, I would say, even number of years. For some people, it's even less than 10 years that they have enough, so that they can just live off the interest of the money they accumulated over time.
But you say interest, so people have to invest.
Yeah, that's the part. That you have to invest your money, because then you give it time to grow. Because nowadays, especially in the times of inflation, if you keep your money sitting in the bank account, your money is valued less and less, like every day. And the banks are investing for you anyway. The pension funds that people work for are investing on their behalf anyway. So why not take matters in your own hand and do some proper research? Yeah,
because that's really important to mention. Do your research, because we are also investing our money since how long?
Also a couple of years, I would say.
Two years maybe?
Yeah, that's right. And also, like, you should invest money that And that's one reason that I am not completely, like, I'm not a big fan of the FIRE movement also. Like, personally, I would say I want to discuss it because it might be helpful for a lot of people to know about, is that you should only invest money that you can afford to lose.
Yeah.
And the FIRE movement is about investing as much as possible. So it's a trade-off between achieving freedom, and they say it's a high risk, high return way to go about financial freedom. Because if you, for example, just let's take an example, like a couple makes 50,000 euros together net, like in a year. Their spending is like half of that. So half of that is going towards the house expenses, like all kind of expenses that you can imagine. The insurance, vacations. So 25,000, that's 50% of the income is going towards everything. It's still a big rate. Like if you're saving half your money, I think most of the Western world is not doing that. In Netherlands, the saving rate is like, I think it depends from time to time, of course, because you have times of recession phases, like kind of when people don't spend a lot of money, like in the COVID times when everything was closed, people were not spending that much money, so they had all this money accumulated in the bank account that they didn't know what to do with. A lot of people invested that money, a lot of people saved it, let it be on the bank account, a lot of people bought expensive houses, for example, or after COVID they think they have a nice buffer to do nice things, so they are now spending that money. But the point is, like with the example, a couple earning 50,000, they're spending 25, so they're saving 25,000 euros a year. But the FIRE movement says that if you invest that money,
all of it,
that is, it depends. Sometimes they say you should always keep like a little bit cash in hand. And they assume that as well. So they say, for example, you have like 10,000 as a buffer or 20,000 as a buffer.
But the rest you should invest.
So, of course, if you invest that's quite a big risk to invest that money. But like they follow the trend that like the stock markets have followed over the years. So in the long run, the stock market grows, and they have made like a conservative estimate of, say, a return around 5%. Like if you are earning 5% on that money, that means in around 17 years you will retire. So say someone who starts at age 30, for example, it's pretty late, but age 30, like you have your education and all, you are busy with paying off your student debts and everything. At age 30 you really start on a clean slate with investing. That means by the age of 47, assuming that you follow the same lifestyle like all throughout your life, so till the point that you die, that person can stop working at 47. And at 47, then from that moment he will have enough money, because the money that he invested, the 25,000 per year he has invested over time, that has also grown at a rate of 5%. So he has built up some money, like I don't know exactly, like I think it's around 600,000, 700,000 that he has built up, and that like and he can take out like 4 to 5% of that money every year.
Like, the rest keeps growing.
That is 25,000. That are his expenses. And the rest keeps growing, and he can just keep living off it.
And I can imagine if people are hearing this now and they think, oh, if I start with 30 and before 50 I can retire.
Right.
Most people would like to do this now.
But there's a lot of sacrifices to make, because living off 25,000, for some people they think, oh, it's a lot of money, but some people think, this is nothing. Like I also want to have a better lifestyle.
It depends on the lifestyle you're having.
I want to sometime buy a bigger car. I want to move to a bigger house, or maybe I want a vacation house, or I want expensive holidays abroad. And in that case, it becomes more difficult. So it's about, you have to live frugal. You have to write down on paper what your expenses are, and you have to stick to it for life. And still it's not sure, and that's where a little bit the negative side of this is. The positive side, of course, is you can stop early with work. It has worked with a lot of people as well. It goes more about what your expenses are and how much you can save, the percentage of money. So it really benefits people who make a lot of money, who have like really good education, who are in IT, for example, or really technical studies, who can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
They benefit from it if they have a frugal lifestyle. So
Yeah.
if you are earning 100,000 but you're spending 25,000, that is, you are saving 75% of your income.
Yeah.
And in that case, like, I think you would need just 7 years. So that person will retire at 37. If he starts at 30, at 37, he will have enough money.
So how more money you're earning with your job,
Yeah,
and how more you save out of that,
yeah,
how early you can stop working.
right. Yeah, that's the FIRE movement.
But also, like, you can stop working,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to, right?
In what way do you mean? Like, if you stop?
Yeah, if you can retire at one point, like
Yeah.
say you are that guy who starts with 30 and
Mhm.
can retire with 50. You don't have to retire. Is it not more about it that from that point you can really start doing
Right.
what you like?
Yeah, and that's something that I find quite sad, like personally.
Yeah.
That you have to work, like, I don't know how many years, like in that, if you say 75% of your income, that is unrealistic for majority of the
Yeah.
people, then you can retire in 7 years, and that's really the minimum. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Of course, the best case scenario, you save everything that you have. You can do that by living with your parents, for example, all your life, and that is also unrealistic for most of the people in the Western world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the negative part is that you still spend that amount of time working at something that you're apparently not that happy with in the first place. So you're trading off a number of years for some glorious years in the future. So it can be 7 years, but realistically speaking, say if you follow it in a good way, I think 50% is a good example. Like if you're really want to go for it, like you're just a little bit, you're above average, because average people or Dutch people
30,
are saving
maybe?
maximum 30. So it's
Yeah.
between 15 and 30 depending
Okay.
on circumstances.
Yeah.
So maximum 30, I'm saying, like, so 30% that people save of the household income. But if you're at 50, yeah, it can take 17 years. And it's
But yeah,
about,
do you want to work
right,
17 years
at
in
a
a
job
job you
that
maybe
you-
not like?
yeah, and just so that for that future gratification.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah, so it's quite a difficult talk about finances because for everyone it's so different.
Yeah, I just ran the numbers also. Like I have an interesting. I think I'll put this also. We'll put this in the
blog,
in the description.
Yeah.
Like you can play with the saving rates and what you earn. It. You see, it really depends on the amount of like savings that you do and that you invest. With 30%, it takes 28 years.
28 years is
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. So if you start at 30 again, that's
before
like
60.
58. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's still I would say 10 years less than the average with 30%, and 30% on average is the best case scenario that people have. And yeah, I wanted to like talk about these numbers and technical aspects. We also have to be practical about it, but I know that in our discussions we don't like to do that too much, because then we feel we are too busy with money.
Yeah.
But on one hand, like I remember we did a lot of these calculations when we were working back then as to when we can. And one moment we thought, let's just stop with it and let's just do what we like. And we really targeted our expenses. We sold our house. We didn't have any mortgage anymore. We sold our car. We spent half a year in India, for example. And to be like, it's also the culture there. Like, of course, like it's fine. And I also like that, to live with my parents, of course. And and practically speaking, we didn't have like a lot of expenses there, like as such, because we also don't lead a lifestyle where we need a lot. Of course, the biggest expense I think for us is traveling, because that is kind of our weak point. But we travel cheap, we travel with less baggage, we are backpackers, so we like to make use of campings. We save a lot of money already there.
Yeah, but we don't save that money there because we really focus on, because we have to save money, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We also do it because we are liking it.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, what do you think like about the FIRE movement in general? Because I did a lot of talking now about explaining it, and I knew that you didn't get a grasp of it, but now you know, like if you have to summarize it in a few words and tell your thinking about it, what would you say?
Yeah, I find it difficult because with the FIRE movement, what to say about it? I like it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that most people like the idea of knowing that they can retire early.
Yeah.
But I also think there are quite some negative parts, because what you said, when we were having a full-time job, we were doing those calculations.
Yeah.
When can we stop?
Because we didn't like our jobs.
Because we didn't like our jobs.
Yeah.
And when you did those calculations, it was like, we have to work, I don't know, so many more years.
It was, I think, 15 years or something for us. Yeah,
something like that, because we were saving quite
and
good.
for our lifestyle, and I'll tell my our listeners, like we lead quite a frugal lifestyle.
Yeah. So we were okay with our job, but we didn't like it to continue for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And that is a bit where the FIRE movement is about. Like you're working and till you can retire.
Yeah.
But for us, it wasn't possible to work those 15 more years in that kind of jobs.
Yeah.
So for us, we more felt like, okay, no, we have to make a change. We want to stop working now.
Yeah.
And then maybe we have less income, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I am positive about it that it's there.
Yeah.
But I also think it's not for everyone.
No. Of course, like if you think you can survive at a job for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, if you really like your job, then do it.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, and if you think you can survive it 15 years for like a lifetime of freedom after that. So like at age 30, because that's the example we took, you say at 45 or 47, I don't have to work at the job anymore, and I have enough money to just follow my passion and my dreams.
Yeah, I also find that a difficult thing, because everyone is hoping that they stay healthy for the rest of their life.
Right.
But I also feel that what if you just keep working somewhere you might don't like, just with the thinking maybe in 10, 20 years I can do something I like. But what if in those 20 years something happens to you, to maybe a relative, someone is important in your life? What if something happens?
Yeah.
I more feel like you should live the life you want right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. The focus of the FIRE movement is just financial planning for the future. Yeah. To be not dependent on money anymore. But there are many ways to roam. There are many ways to reach the financial independence. For us, for example, like we know it as well, and we know quite for sure that it will not change. Like we live quite frugally, but it also has to do with like we follow veganism. We try to follow minimalism in the way that we see it. Yeah. We have a talk. We also have
a talk about that.
In another episode. So for us, for example, like just imagine like our cooking, vegan cooking business, and the reason we started it was to learn people like how they can cook healthy food without using dairy products, meat products. Yeah. So we want to affect as many lives as possible, as many people as possible, so that we like also have an impact, like in terms of their health, in terms of the impact that they have on the climate. These two examples. So those things are really important for us. And if we, for example, have that money that you need to retire, say 500,000, 1 million.
We keep doing this.
I think we will not. Our lifestyle will not change a lot.
No, we keep doing the things we are doing also because we are liking what we are doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's also important for other people. That's exactly what I just said before. Please do what you're liking already now, and don't.
Yeah.
That's my advice. Don't wait till the future.
Yeah. And one more thing we forget, I think a lot of people would also think about that, is about responsibilities. If you have a family, if you have kids, the later you do think about this in life, the more difficult it gets.
Yeah.
If you have a dear one that has to be, you have to care for them financially, like you have to support them. It happens in India quite a lot. Like, of course, that's like there's a joint family kind of system, and it happens in a way that, for example, I live with my parents, and tomorrow my parents they stop with working, or they don't have work anymore. Then I am their kind of financial freedom in a way, because you are kind of expected, and I find it also very normal coming from my perspective, to be there for your parents, like when they need you financially, physically, be present for them.
Yeah, especially if in the Netherlands that's a bit different, because here people, when they retire, they get money from the government.
Yeah.
But in India, that's not really that's not happening.
A bit less. Not for everyone.
Yeah, some people they get, but
yeah. So from like my parents, I would also say like they are quite financially independent themselves from what they have done, and that's way above the average in India.
Yeah.
So in that way, they don't have a lot of expectations from me. They don't have a lot of expectations from us, from anyone in the financial side of things. Same for you, like in the Netherlands, like your parents also, once they stop working, they have enough support from like retirement funds from the government that financially they don't have to look towards you or us. For us, that wouldn't have been a problem, but of course, when you think about the fire movement and everything, and in that case, you really have to take those things also in account. That's my point.
Yeah.
Like as a person who thinks your expenses like can be driven up by a lot of things, can be personal things, can be your attitude towards like material things or things that you cannot really do without. So there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration before in this, like following this concept. But that takes me like to, like, I think we discussed this also, but to the last point, like our idea of this whole concept, what we think about, like how do we summarize it, like, because it's still, of course it is, I think that's clear for our listeners that our idea of financial freedom is way different than the one that I defined before.
Yeah.
And it's also very clear that we don't want to follow the fire movement. It's really clear.
Yeah, we're a bit in the middle. Like we, like what you said, like we live quite frugal, and things are not that important for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we give up. We give up. But we sold our house and our car and most of our stuff.
Yeah.
So in that way, we live quite frugal.
Yeah, we do invest, by the way, and we invest money that we can afford to lose. Yeah. So it's not a big amount of our income, whatever we have at this moment, because we started a new business a year back, and with heygroentje, we try to just do what we like. Of course, we would like to grow also financially. We have a book coming out soon, and We give cooking workshops, but our motives remain like to do this because we like it.
Yeah, and it's nice that we can support our lifestyle with that.
Yeah, at this moment.
Yeah, but I want to say one more thing, because in this whole episode we mentioned quite sometimes investing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really want to go more in detail in that, because we think that if you're interested in investing your money, please do a lot of research.
Right.
Do a lot of research, read books about it, hear different people talk about it.
And also think about
where to invest.
The things and the ideas that you really support by heart, because that really matters, because it doesn't matter then how the company is doing, and if you believe in the company, if you know that they are good for the planet, if they are doing good things, so like we would suggest to do more green investments.
Yeah. And we also only invest in companies.
Right. We also invest in ourselves. And I think that's the most important even, because the biggest investment you can ever do in your life is in yourself. So invest in your health, in your relationships, invest in your passion. So if you want to live off your passion, you should invest in growing that, learn new skills, develop your skills, follow courses that they will help you get to another level. In the end, that has the best returns. Like no investment can ever match those kind of returns.
Yeah.
So that's my part. And like I would from my side like to summarize it like by saying like do not feel forced to lead a life where you just survive to pay the bills without liking any part of what you do for work. It's better to hustle, struggle, focus on frugality if you can, if you want that, until you find something worth doing and make enough to lead the lifestyle you want. So that's how I would like to summarize it.
Yeah, and I completely agree to what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think with enough motivation, determination, and of course time, you have to give it time, like whatever you work on, or if you want to work on.
Yeah, to become financially free, it takes time.
Yeah.
And some people are made lucky with winning a lottery and they become rich in like a second.
Yeah.
But know that financially freedom is not about getting rich, but really having enough money to live the way you want.
Having a safety net. Yeah. What if something goes wrong tomorrow, and that you, or you stop like really liking what you do, for example. Yeah. For people who really like and love what they do,
keep doing
this is an idea, of course. It's always nice to have like the thinking that you can stop when you can.
Yeah, it's more about the thinking,
right,
that you have enough money that if you want to stop or if something happens in your life, you're having enough money to do that.
Yeah, that's correct. And we both are millennials, and it's also research that for younger people it's a bit more easy also, because they easily take a pay cut for a job that serves more purpose in their eyes.
Yeah.
But I think this is true for all generations. Just I think for millennials it's more obvious.
Yeah.
Because they have the kind of upbringing that we have had. Yeah. It's much more obvious. But for everyone looks for purpose in life. If you have like an idea about what your purpose is, I think like the finances will follow. Like just like that. You don't have to think too much about it. Of course, it's important to do, but I hope that you could get some points or some insights into how we think about financial freedom, maybe we'll come up with another topic in another season about this. If
today was not that much in detail, but more sharing our thinking about it. So maybe more episodes will come.
And
We'll talk more in detail.
don't forget to read the blog. We have also blog about like summarizing different points that we talked about, and also some additional points about how we think about and our idea of financial freedom. Let us know via social media. Send us a mail at heygroentje at gmail.com. Write to us on Instagram, Facebook. Let us know what you thought about this topic. If you have some comments about the topic, some questions that you want us to answer, we are more than happy to answer it. Thanks a lot for listening to the heygroentje podcast, and we'll be back again soon with another topic, another discussion, another conversation between between us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.